How much did the climate in Chicago change when Chief Keef came out? Because that, you just hear people who are not from Chicago talk about how everything was all good in their city or their town, and then all of a sudden, like this era of drill music came out, and it changed everything on not just Chicago but in other places as well. Did you feel that shift?
Yeah, I definitely did. Hell yeah, Chief Keef put a big impact on the music, game for Chicago. You know what I'm saying? He kind of gave a lot of people from Chicago hope. You feel me? That I could make it. Like if Chief Keef did it, I could make it. It kind of put the eye on Chicago. You feel me? So yeah, he definitely made a big stamp. You feel me on what he did? Shit. I feel like he changed, a lot of shit in music, you know what I'm saying? Like the way people think and rap and, like everybody think like I gotta get on the way Chief Keef got on or something. You know what I'm saying? It kind of put you, it's like he changed a lot. Like he make people go, a lot of people tried to go that route he went, you feel me? So that's all I could really say. He kind of influenced a lot of people, shit, from Chicago to rap.
It showed a lot of people in Chicago probably that they could make it out of their area off of the strength of their music, but then at the same time, it's like his content for a lot of people sort of like personified the identity of like a young, violent Chicago teen. Like this, he happens to be making good music, but this is kind of the stereotype that people are worried about when they talk about Chicago.
Yeah, because you got people that put this image on you, you feel me? And it's the image that they want of you. And it's like, sometimes that's what's getting the bills paid. You got to keep giving off that image, you feel me? And I feel like that's what it was more with him. Like, he just had to keep going and kind of put himself in a box, you feel me?
I feel it. So when did you, you've just known Duck since you were a kid, or like how close of cousins were you guys?
That's my blood cousin, like, I'm talking about like since we was 6, 7 years old, like knowing like hanging together, like playing football in the yard, like all that type of shit. Like, yeah, like but I can honestly say, me and Duck as family members, we wasn't when we was younger, we wasn't as close. You feel me? We wasn't, because he was in a whole different neighborhood. We in a whole different household. You feel me? At the same time, and we young. You feel me? So it's not like we can hang together as much as we want. But when we started getting older, he branched to his neighborhood where he was at, which is 63rd, St. Lawrence on that side, and I was on 59th and Wabash, which is about a mile away from each other. So he was kind of doing his own thing, and I was doing my thing. He was rapping, but like 2012, 2013, around 14, I wasn't rapping as much. You feel me? He was famous back then. You feel me? With Chief Keef when that happened. But yeah, our relationship really got close through music, you know what I'm saying? And I got real close with him, and we did the Exposing Me song, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like we stuck together with it as family, you know what I'm saying? I ain't proud of it, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that song kind of brought us close, because that was kind of like my big peak for my career too. Like it did like 20-something million views, you feel
like
me?
30 million right now, I think.
Probably is. But it just kind of brought us close. It showed us like we got to stick together. You know what I'm saying? We family, and this happening for a reason. Like both of us we like the chosen ones of the family. You feel me? And we was like the muscle. You feel me? We the muscle of the family. So we just stuck with that. You know what I'm saying? And kept grinding like we supposed to.
So when you saw him getting his shit together in terms of the music and everything, had you really had anybody who educated you on the game up till that point, or was he sort of someone that was showing you like, oh, you got to do this, this, and this if you want to have a rap career?
The crazy part is, Duck really my little cousin. You feel me? But it's more so, I found myself telling Duck more stuff than anything. You feel me? Like, Cause I looked up to Duck, you feel me? So anytime I felt he was slipping up, when it was just like, I call him, all right, hey, I feel like you need to do this more, you feel me? Or you need to, you know what I'm saying, put more thought into the videos, or put females in the videos, or I even sent him a long ass text saying that type of shit, like recently before he died. Like, I always been like that, you know what I'm saying, that angel on his shoulder just to try to guide him right. And he been like that with me. You feel me?
You were telling him to put females in the video?
Yeah.
We can't have no girls in the slide video. That's not going to work.
Yeah, not slide.
The definition of what the slide video is no girls allowed. Like, this is the hardest rap video in the world. If there was one girl in it, it would ruin the whole thing.
Yet again, you got girls out here that be sliding shit.
I believe it. I hear about it. I heard they stab you in your sleep.
Hell yeah. But but yeah. I just, I always told him, told him the right thing, and he always told me the right thing. We was just good for each other, you know what I'm saying? And we was still shit we needed to work on, though, you feel me? But we was getting it together.
Right.
It was all kind of unfolding and happening.
Did you always feel like what Duck was doing and what you were doing was that you guys were kind of the underdogs in Chicago because you sort of had like the other side of Chicago really blowing up and shit? Were you always perceiving it that way, or is that something that that's the way we kind of perceive it now as fans?
It's more so as now, you know what I'm saying? But because more so, we still get the recognition. You feel me? It's like we still could do millions of views. You feel me? And I feel like that's good enough. Like, if it's gonna keep doing, they viewing it, they looking at it. It's like they gonna do it at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's still, I feel like it's still a lot I gotta do. You feel me? A lot I gotta prove to people to make people understand. And it's maybe it's just something that I ain't did yet. You feel me? That people may look at you like an underdog or like. But because I do see that in my comments a lot, like y'all the underdogs, like y'all what's the word for it? Y'all underrated. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but it's up to us. You know what I'm saying? To overcome them type of things and keep just grinding and keep pushing.
Because Doug had said that in his career, I think, right? That he felt like he was kind of blackballed out the industry by certain people.
Yeah, it's definitely like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you got people that get in. You feel me? And bad mouth you. And basically just build certain relationships with certain people. Not saying that's a bad thing. You feel me? It's good to build relationships, but you got people that bad talk people and be like, nah, don't fuck with him. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't, them niggas ain't right. They might rob you, or them niggas just, and this person is so willing to work with this person because he might be big, you feel me? That he gonna believe it and be like, all right, I'm not gonna work with him then.
And all of a sudden, like, shit that normally is just street beef, street politics becomes kind of like a accepted, like, narrative arc within, like, rap music because you got so many fans paying attention to it, and you got, rappers who want to be cool with one person, and they just sort of, like, pile on with that, right?
Yeah, they definitely do. And it's like you got, I call it dick sucking. That's what it is to me. Like, when rappers do that and, like, ain't nothing wrong with being friends with a person, you know what I'm saying, and making new friends, but you can't let that person beef. You can't, dictate how you fuck with a person, the next person, you know what I'm saying? Because you will block your blessings like that. You might miss out on a real good opportunity.
Right. Do you remember when Tooka passed and how that changed things in Chicago? Because it felt like that's where a lot of people who didn't realize it were like, oh, like there's really crazy shit happening behind all this music.
Yeah. When Tooka died, see, me personally, I didn't know Tooka, you feel me? Because I told you, I'm from a whole different neighborhood.
Right.
And around that time back then, I wasn't kind of hanging over that as like Duck friend, you feel me? But when he died, it hit the rap game, you feel me? Like, his death hit the rap game so hard, like
something you couldn't pay attention to, like a really young kid getting killed like that.
And it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like people even still talk about it to this day. Like, it's like, what's the purpose? Like, that's a 15-year-old boy. At the end of the day, even if he was in the streets, you feel me? Whatever he did, these kids don't really be having their own minds out here. They be like lost at that time, you feel me? And it's like, even if he a op, like, you just don't, you got mamas on the internet, like, crying, practically crying. They coming together doing interventions and shit all together. They all talking about this shit. And it's like, to get on there and disrespect them again, it's like, you got to be like one of the lowest people, like you got to not even give a fuck about life itself, like.
Right, and then there's so many people who look at the Chicago rap stuff and like you could tell that a lot of things that like kind of happened in Chicago for the first time in terms of the way that a lot of the beats play out in music and stuff. That shit is so not even just the sound of it, because obviously there's tons of music that still sounds like 2011 drill coming out of New York and England and wherever the fuck it is, but just like the attitude and the willingness to like sort of represent your beats for people in music, like that was so influential to all kinds of other places too, which is crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, it's crazy how they just look at it like it's like people on the outside looking in, they glorify this shit. Like they just love this shit. Like they be all in my DM, bro, drop that shit, diss them niggas. I be like, they just want you to just diss people, diss the dead. I don't be on that type of time no more, you know?
Right.
I'm trying to, you know, elevate, you feel me, and see better shit.
Like when Gucci said smoking on Pookie Loc to Jeezy during that versus battle, I mean, that doesn't happen without Chicago making that slang popular, you know?
Honestly, what he did that is like, I understand in a way, because the situation I heard, dude, his homie tried to kill him or whatever it is, and I'd be mad too if a person tried to kill me, because I could be gone today too, you feel me? But it's a level of maturity, you feel me, that you just, you know what I'm saying, you should just stay at sometimes. When you on a certain level like that, I don't think you should kind of dip into that. It kind of shows just like it's easy to get reactions out of you, or just like, I don't know.